Something unusual happens in the body when the very first thing you eat in the morning is protein, and most people have never been told about it. A simple shift in your breakfast timing can activate a powerful metabolic response that changes the way your cells handle sugar for the rest of the day. Many people try to fix insulin resistance with complicated diets, supplements, or extreme routines. Yet the solution might start with something far more basic: the first meal of the day and the nutrition you give your body before 8 o'clock in the morning. Today, you will discover why early morning protein is not just a nutrition tip, but a metabolic strategy supported by strong science. Researchers have found that your body responds completely differently to food in the morning than it does later in the day. Your cells are more sensitive, your digestion is more responsive, and your hormones are more aligned with using energy instead of storing it. When you combine that natural morning rhythm with protein, something powerful happens. Your blood sugar rises more slowly, your insulin response becomes smoother, and your body becomes less likely to store fat and more likely to burn it. You will learn how protein taken early can help reduce big glucose spikes that lead to tiredness, cravings, and constant hunger. You will hear about the lesser-known connection between early eating and your internal clock, a timing system inside your cells that controls how well insulin works. Many people never realize that late breakfasts or carb-heavy morning meals can quietly worsen insulin resistance day after day, even when the rest of the diet looks healthy. You will understand why shifting your first meal just a little earlier can make a difference that lasts for hours. You will also hear about research showing that protein at the very first meal sets the tone for how your body reacts to every meal after it. A strong protein start can reduce the impact of carbs eaten later, which means better energy, better focus, and less of that mid-afternoon crash that feels impossible to shake. This is one of the most overlooked strategies for improving blood sugar control without strict dieting. And there is more to it. Early protein helps slow digestion in a way that keeps your stomach satisfied, reduces snacking, and supports weight management naturally. Many people struggle with overeating, not because of willpower, but because their first meal did not send the right signals to the brain. Protein does that. It switches on hormones that help you feel full and balanced, not restless and hungry. By the end of this video, you will know how much protein to take in the morning, why the 8 o'clock timing window matters, and how to use this habit to support better metabolism, lower insulin levels, and a healthier body overall. You will learn the science in simple language, but you will also hear practical steps that you can start using tomorrow morning. Stay with me until the end, because every part of this explanation builds on the next. Once you understand the full picture, the entire strategy becomes effortless. Welcome to the channel. If you want more simple, science-based health videos like this one, make sure to subscribe and stay with us. Because the insulin resistance begins quietly, long before most people notice it. It happens when the cells in the body stop responding properly to insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar from the bloodstream into the cells for energy. When those cells become less sensitive, the pancreas produces more and more insulin just to get the same job done. Over time, sugar stays in the bloodstream longer than it should, and insulin levels stay high throughout the day. This slow breakdown in communication between insulin and the cells becomes the foundation for many common health issues. The problem is not only about high blood sugar, it affects how you feel every day. When sugar cannot enter the cells efficiently, the body struggles to produce steady energy. This is why people with early insulin resistance often feel tired even after a full night of sleep. They may feel hungry soon after eating, especially craving sweet or starchy foods. The body is searching for quick energy because the energy it already has is trapped in the bloodstream instead of reaching the muscles and organs that need it. As insulin levels rise repeatedly, fat storage increases, especially around the belly, and weight becomes harder to control. One reason this issue grows quietly is the way most people start their mornings. Many breakfasts are based on refined carbohydrates and little to no protein. Cereal, bread, pastries, pancakes, and sweetened drinks create a rapid rise in blood sugar within minutes. Without enough protein, there is nothing to slow the digestion of those carbs. The result is a sharp glucose spike, followed by an equally sharp crash. This pattern can happen every morning for years, pushing the body toward deeper insulin resistance. Even foods that seem harmless can create this cycle if they lack the protein needed to stabilize blood sugar. This daily spike and crash rhythm forces the pancreas to work harder and harder, increasing insulin levels even more. Over time, the body becomes stuck in a loop of high sugar, high insulin, low energy, and constant cravings, and it all often starts with the first meal of the day. There is a simple shift that can change the way your body handles sugar, and it starts with the very first meal of the day. When you eat a breakfast that is rich in protein, especially early in the morning, your body responds differently. Protein affects digestion, hormone release, and how quickly sugar moves from food into the bloodstream. This early protein intake sends a signal that helps stabilize your metabolic system for the hours that follow. Instead of a sudden rush of sugar, you get a slower, steadier rise that is easier for your body to manage. Research has shown that people who eat a high-protein breakfast tend to experience smaller glucose spikes after meals, not only right after breakfast, but even later in the day. Their insulin response is smoother, which means the body does not have to pump out large amounts of insulin to control rising blood sugar. This effect has been observed repeatedly in controlled studies where protein intake is increased at the first meal. The results point to one clear idea: the timing of protein matters just as much as the amount. This pattern works because protein slows the digestion of carbohydrates and helps control the speed at which sugar enters the blood. It also supports hormones that regulate appetite and fullness, which means you feel satisfied longer and are less likely to reach for sugary snacks. When the body starts the day with steady energy instead of a spike, the entire blood sugar curve becomes more stable. This makes it easier for insulin to do its job and reduces the strain on your metabolic system. But this change does not work as a one-time trick. It is not something you do only on busy days or only when you feel like you need extra energy. The benefit comes from consistency. Starting your morning with a reliable source of protein every single day creates a rhythm the body can rely on. Over time, the morning protein habit becomes a foundation for more stable blood sugar, calmer appetite signals, and a stronger metabolic response throughout the day. Early protein works because it lines up with the way your body is designed to handle food in the morning. Your metabolism follows a natural rhythm controlled by an internal clock. This rhythm influences how well your cells respond to insulin, how quickly your stomach digests food, and how effectively your body can use energy. In the early hours of the day, insulin sensitivity is naturally higher. That means your cells are more prepared to take in sugar and use it for fuel. When you eat during this window, especially with a focus on protein, you support this natural rhythm instead of fighting against it. Protein enhances this effect because it slows the movement of food through the digestive system. When protein is present, carbohydrates break down more gradually, which leads to a slower release of sugar into the bloodstream. Instead of a fast spike and a sharp drop, the glucose curve becomes gentle and controlled. This prevents the roller coaster pattern that often follows a high carbohydrate breakfast. The body prefers this steady pattern because it reduces stress on the pancreas, keeps insulin levels more balanced, and maintains consistent energy. Another important detail is how protein affects gut hormones. When you eat protein, Your body releases hormones that support fullness, stable blood sugar, and a calmer appetite. These hormones help keep you satisfied for longer periods, reducing the urge to snack or reach for sugary foods. This is especially important in the morning, when your eating pattern sets the tone for the rest of the day. Over time, morning protein does more than improve blood sugar for a single meal. Consistent early protein intake can help strengthen insulin sensitivity. The body becomes more efficient at moving sugar into cells, and the daily strain on the pancreas decreases. This long-term effect is one reason researchers pay so much attention to breakfast composition and timing. The early hours create an opportunity to support metabolic health in a way that lasts far beyond the morning. Putting this method into practice is easier than most people expect. The first step is choosing a breakfast that focuses on protein rather than sugar or refined carbohydrates. This does not mean you need a complicated recipe or a long cooking routine. Simple options work well: eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, lean chicken, fish, beans, or lentils can all create a solid protein foundation. Even a high-quality protein shake can work on busy mornings, as long as it is not loaded with added sugars. The goal is to start the day with food that gives your body steady fuel instead of a rapid sugar surge. Timing is just as important as the type of food you choose. Eating before 8 o'clock helps you take advantage of your natural morning insulin sensitivity. When you give your body protein early, your metabolism begins the day from a strong position. This small shift can help stabilize energy and control appetite for hours. Many people skip breakfast or push it late into the morning without realizing how much this affects their blood sugar rhythm. Bringing your first meal slightly earlier can work alongside your body's internal clock instead of working against it. Carbohydrates do not need to be eliminated, but they should be kept in moderation at the first meal. Refined carbs like sugary cereals, white bread, pastries, and sweetened drinks can undo the stabilizing effect of protein by causing fast glucose spikes. Instead, pair your protein with slow-digesting carbs or even focus mainly on protein and healthy fats in the morning. This prevents the sharp rise in blood sugar that can lead to cravings and tiredness later in the day. Most importantly, the routine needs to be sustainable. Choose protein sources you actually enjoy, so the habit becomes effortless. A plan that feels restrictive rarely lasts, but a breakfast that tastes good, keeps you full, and supports stable energy is something you can maintain daily. Over time, this simple routine becomes part of your natural rhythm, making your mornings feel smoother and your blood sugar easier to manage. Once you begin your mornings with a solid source of protein, you will notice changes that are subtle at first, but grow stronger with consistency. One of the earliest effects is a more stable blood sugar curve. Instead of rising quickly after breakfast and dropping sharply a couple of hours later, your glucose levels follow a smoother path. This stability carries into the rest of the day. Even the meals you eat at lunchtime or in the afternoon tend to produce gentler responses because your metabolism started the day in a balanced state. A major shift happens with insulin as well. When blood sugar rises more gradually, your body does not need to release large bursts of insulin to control it. Over time, this can reduce the constant pressure placed on the pancreas. With lower and more controlled insulin spikes, your cells may become more responsive again, which is an important step in lowering the risk of insulin resistance. This steady pattern can support long-term metabolic health, and for many people it becomes a key factor in reducing the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Energy levels often improve as well. Many people who rely on carbohydrate-heavy breakfasts feel an energy crash by mid-morning, followed by a rush of hunger. A protein-rich start helps avoid this pattern, because protein slows digestion and supports hormones that help regulate appetite. You stay full for longer periods. Cravings become less intense. The urge to snack fades, and the mind feels clearer. You may find that your focus lasts longer into the morning without the fatigue or irritability that often follows a sugar spike. These effects build up over time as your daily blood sugar rhythm becomes smoother. Your metabolism starts to operate more efficiently. Appetite becomes more controlled. Overeating becomes less frequent, and weight management can feel more natural. Instead of fighting hunger or struggling with constant highs and lows, your body works from a more stable foundation. This calm, steady pattern allows you to move through the day with more energy and fewer disruptions from cravings or sudden drops in blood sugar. While protein early in the morning can make a noticeable difference, it is important to understand that this strategy works best when it fits into a broader pattern of healthy habits. No single meal can completely undo the effects of poor sleep, very low activity levels, or a diet filled with sugar and heavily processed foods. The morning protein technique is a powerful tool, but it works alongside the rest of your lifestyle, not separate from it. When your overall eating pattern supports balanced nutrition, the benefits of early protein become far more consistent. The type of protein you choose also matters. Not all protein sources support the body in the same way. When people turn to processed protein bars, sugary shakes, or low-quality fast food options, they often add extra ingredients that work against the goal of stabilizing blood sugar. These products can contain hidden sugars, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats that create the same spikes you are trying to avoid. High-quality protein from whole foods gives your body nutrients it can use effectively, without the unnecessary extras that can confuse your metabolism. Another important point is the need for consistency. Eating a protein-rich breakfast once in a while will not create long-term metabolic changes. The body responds to repetition. When you give it steady signals day after day, your hormones and digestion adapt gradually. This is why it is helpful to choose protein options that you genuinely enjoy and can prepare easily. When the routine fits naturally into your life, it becomes something you can maintain for months or years rather than days. Individual factors will also influence how quickly or how strongly you notice results. Each person has a unique metabolism shaped by age, activity level, genetics, and overall health. Someone who is very active may feel changes differently than someone who sits for most of the day. A younger person might respond faster than someone dealing with long-standing blood sugar issues. These differences are normal and do not mean the method is ineffective. They simply reflect the way each body adapts in its own time and rhythm. Starting your day with protein before 8 o'clock in the morning could be the small shift your body has been waiting for. It supports smoother blood sugar, steadier insulin levels, and better energy throughout the day. This simple change works with your natural rhythm, giving your metabolism a stronger, more stable start from the moment you wake up. It does not require complicated diets or strict routines, only a consistent decision to fuel your body in a way that helps it function at its best. Try this routine for just 1 week and pay attention to how you feel. Notice whether your cravings calm down, whether your energy lasts longer, and whether your focus stays sharper. Watch how your hunger patterns shift and how your body responds to the rest of your meals. Even small improvements can show you how powerful this morning habit can be. If this approach makes sense and you found these insights helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. More simple, science-based health tips are coming your way, and each one is designed to help you build steady progress and a healthier daily rhythm. Your support helps us grow and bring you more of the content you enjoy. Stay with us for more practical strategies that make a real difference in your health.